are you? Who are you? Talofa and good morning, my Generation 7 family members. So the question is, who am I? My name is Teresa, and I was born into a loving family, to a Fijian father and a Tuvalu mother. In this home, in this household, as a kid, while I was growing up, our communication style, our eating habits, how we worshipped, I thought, I felt, and I also assumed as a child that this was normal within my home, that this was also practiced by those that were outside of my home, that this was practiced by everyone. I later found out and realized that this was not so. As I started playing in the community playground, as I started attending school, as I started attending family functions from both sides, as I started attending also church functions, I was usually labeled as the Fijian girl with the Tuvalu mother, or the Tuvalu girl, or the Fijian girl but she doesn't have a Fijian mother. These three statements were correct. These three statements I accepted. But what rested with me was, it was not what was said, but it was how they said it. A few examples I will share with you. For example, at the playground, I think you have to go back to your country, but your country doesn't have mountains, does it? We're in Fiji, we have mountains everywhere. I don't know what they're going on about. Or, it might not be fair, but at least you have our hair. Are we supposed to be white? I can't remember either of my parents being white. Does anyone want some? Ew, what's that? Raw fish? That stinks. How can you eat that? I'm sorry, I thought everyone ate raw fish. Or, who is she again? How are we related to? She looks kind of different. Oh, okay. Where are you from? I'm Fijian. Are you part? My mother's Tuvalu. Oh, that explains it. Explains what exactly? And the worst one I would say is, she said, would you like a piece of cake? Yes, I do. So where are you from? If you give me the correct answer, I'll give you this cake. You see, it was such comments, or one may perceive at that time as a joke, that was said towards me, all around me, at different occasions, that rested with me and made me feel compelled that I had to choose a side, that I either had to be Fijian or I had to be Tuvalu. The marginal man theory was coined by the sociologist Mr. Robert Parks in the 19th century. Mr. Parks defined the marginal man as a man that was suspended between two cultures while still trying to find his own identity. I came across this theory in my early high school education, and I felt that I could relate so much to this theory and what Mr. Parks was trying to explain. For I too was trying to find my identity between being Fijian and being Tuvalu. And this resulted in me acting this way. When I was with a Fijian-oriented group, I tried to be Fijian, or just as Fijian as they were, even better. Believe me, if you ask me, I don't even know what that means. When I was with a more Tuvalu-oriented group, I tried to be just as Tuvalu as they were. Mind you, both of these groups, as I grew up in time, accepted me for who I was. But it's because of these comments that were thrown at me as I was growing up, rested with me, and I let it haunt me, and I let it get the best of me. As I was preparing this presentation, I now realized, why didn't I just share how I was feeling with my parents? Or why didn't I open up to a close friend or family member? You know, honestly, I thought that this was something I had to go through on my own. I thought that everyone in my situation, this was normal. This is the normalcy. That you have to figure this out and just live life and push through it. That's what I thought. So as you can imagine, it got quite exhausting. Being this, being that, with two different groups that I know loved me and accepted me for who I was, but yet I let this mentally haunt me. So how did I get over it? How do you get over it? How does one in this situation get over it, or get through it, more importantly? Self-love. Learn to love yourself. Learn to accept yourself. Learn to accept who you are. I have been blessed with both cultural identities that I have now embraced and now that I am proud of. Now, when anyone asks me, who are you? Where are you from? I'm equally Fijian and I'm equally Tuvaluan. I live in Tuvalu now, and Tuvalu is home, but I'm still equally Fijian. I'm still equally Tuvaluan. Some of us may be going through a similar situation. Some of us might be going through conflict in roles. For example, you've been given a leadership role and others are thinking, do they deserve it? You've been away for most of the time of your life and come back home to work and you're still looked at as an outsider. How do you deal? What do you do? Love yourself. Know your worth. Know your value. People will treat you as to how you treat yourself. People will do the things to you that you allow them to do. Let me repeat that last one. People will do to you what you allow them to do to you. So if I was undermining my value as a Fijian Tuvaluan woman, others would undermine my value as well. If I was undermining my worth as a Fijian Tuvaluan woman, everyone else would. So for many of you in conflicting situations, or even for some of us that have now accepted and realized our sexual orientation, which goes against all norms of many of our Pacific cultures and traditions, all I can say is just love yourself. Love yourself, know your value, know your worth, and don't let anyone take that away from you. Thank you.